Welcome back, people. So we're back with Shadow of the Colossus. Now, when we finished the last episode, it mentioned this one dwells in a lake, and it mentions electricity. I think this is the Colossus that I mentioned a few streams back, where you need to have quite a lot of stamina to hold on to the little critter while he's under the water. There's like these spikes that run down his centre area, all electrified. You have to run on, stab one, and then run to the next one, stab it, and keep going until you do them all. Now, it is possible, I think, to do them in one run, but most people get thrown off before the last horn, and then you have to wait in the water for a while. And yes, you're given no floaties, so yeah, you need to be quite an adept swimmer, to be fair. And yeah, it takes a while for him to circle back if you miss that final spike. But yeah, there we go. Let's head on over. So I think this one, if you just follow that array of columns along the bridge and follow that all the way along, and I think that pretty much takes you where you need to go. Those fingers just veers off to the left slightly when you get further down that way. So I'm going to head across here. Now, as you head across this bridged area, remember we killed the second Colossus down on that beach. You can kind of see his remains still on the beach, which is pretty darn freaking sweet. There it is, there it is. Now, it's a little bit of a trek to get down there, but I'm half tempted to go and check in that cave mouth and see if there's anything left in the cave mouth from where he came out. I kind of do want to go and revisit the graveyards of all the creatures I've killed and see how they've sort of evolved, because you can see that there was all twigs and stuff sticking out of his body as well, which is kind of cool. But this world is massive. There's so much to explore and so much to see that I'm probably never going to get to do it all, mainly because, you know, I'm too busy streaming No Man's Sky. Chums, now, there's a certain sort of vibe to this whole Shadow of the Colossus, with its triumphant sort of orchestral music that sort of kicks in when you're killing these colossi, that it's hard to actually put across how awesome this game is without you actually playing it first hand and actually taking out these creatures yourself. Because the amount of satisfaction you get from besting these creatures, because their AI is so good and the challenge is so high, it's just freaking epic. There's no other game, I don't think, out there that has ticked all the boxes like Shadow of the Colossus has for me. There is a game in development called Pray to the Gods on PlayStation. If I remember, I put a card in the top corner of the screen so you can click it to go and have a look at it, but it's also coming out on multiple devices, I think, so it's not just limited to Sony, which is great, because it's very Shadow of Colossus inspired, and it looks fantastic. It really does. So yeah, be sure to go check out that. But if I haven't put the card there and I did forget, then yeah, just Google search for it, you know, and Pray to the Gods. And it's Pray like P-R-A-E-Y. Now, I think that's the name of the main antagonist, the actual character. It's actually a lady in this one, but it's awesome. It's still climbing all over these creatures. The creatures, the bosses, are levels. It's freaking awesome. So yeah, be sure to go check that out. I'm following it with keen interest. Heck yes. So yeah, can't wait for that. I'm just looking for the blue-tailed lizard. I'm not going to spend too much time here. If I can't see it, I can't see it, and I can't see it. So sod it, I'm just going to press on. But yeah, I don't even know why you need the blue-tailed lizards, to be honest. I don't know if they serve as currency or what. So yeah, if you know what the blue-tailed lizards do, please hit us up in the comments. That'd be lovely. I'd love to know what the blue-tailed lizards do. But here we go. Let's just get on my actual horsey and let's head on off. Come on, Artex. Lovely. Yeah, Atreyu commands you. Tally forth. Go. Go. Oh yeah, it helps if I press the go button when we're just trying. I'll have to kick him in the ribs a couple of times. And we're heading over that way. It's kind of behind this rock face, so I have to go all the way around it. It's a little bit of a long trek. You know what? I'm going to speed up the footage, but I think you know roughly where I'm going. I do love the power of editing. Freaking air grab. Yeah, boom. Yeah, and we're going to get there super quick. There is another little temple that you can pray at just here. So I'm going to offer up a prayer, and yeah, hopefully that's going to over up my health or my stamina. It's very hard to see which one actually moves, because they only move like a gnat's whisker. So here we go, let's do that. See what I mean? Which one of those 2 meters actually moved? I don't know. One of them has just a minuscule amount. Right, so we're heading over there. You see where those 4 sort of posts are, and then there's those 2 others, obelisk-y type looking ones. We're heading over there. That's not exactly where the creature is. We're going to head through there. So here we go. There you go. And there's my beam of light. Eye of Fundera, sweet. I'm heading through here. And it's more over this way. So let's go over this way. And you can see here, if you go into shadow and it goes yellow, it's not going to give you where you need to go. There you go, there's a little bridge, just there. And you see there's like a helter-skelter curly-whirly going over there. That is where the actual Colossus is. I do remember this one. This one on PlayStation 2 annoyed the freaking shite out of me, to be honest, because it's very difficult to see the pattern that the creature is following underneath the water and when you're going to get on his tail or not. Yeah, he sort of swims past you, and as he swims past you, he sort of dives, and as he does, his tail comes out of the water, and if you're lucky, you can grab it, and you get pulled under the water, and you have to climb across him. If you miss that opportunity, you've got to sit about in the water for about another 3 freaking minutes for him to come round and offer up his tail again. It's a bit of a pain. Other Colossus, you can just shoot them with your bow and arrow and trigger the whole thing to happen again. This one, no. This one, you miss your opportunity. It's like having to wait for another bus to come round. It's a bit of a weird one. It really is. But what I would say is this game itself is quite a chillaxing game. Even though that you're taking out these giant colossi, the actual ride there and the exploration, I mean, there's nothing pushing you to do this. There's no timed event for you to get there, kill it, or whatever. Anyway, we've got a cutscene. I think I'll shut up for a second, but I'll reconvene on that note. What a majestic beastie he is! He looks like Shenron from Dragon Ball Z, doesn't he? I don't really want to kill him, it's freaking awesome! But here we go, so he's swimming underneath this sort of bridge thing at the moment. I'm going to meet him at the other side. But it's very difficult to get a sense of depth of this creature. And he also passes back over himself. He does some weird-ass gymnastics for a giant freaking dragon underwater sea creature. But his tail is where you need to aim for. And it can be difficult to see it coming up at you. I mean, it looks like they're rising now, but it's very hard to even see when those spikes breach the surface. There you go, one breached over there, and you see the ripples and things. But then it's like, well, where should I be at this stage? You see what I mean? It's just a little bit obscure in knowing where you need to be. I would just say try and follow him best you can. And as you see his head go past you, don't follow his head end. You've got to remember it's his tail. So go where his head is and just sort of stay still. And hopefully his tail will come up roughly where his head was at that stage. So if I just stay here, hopefully I'm going to get his tail. Oops, I've just moved myself slightly. So I just need to go over this way a bit. And hopefully his tail should come up and get offered any moment. Nope, there you go. Now he's doubling back on himself and he comes a little bit higher up. So now I'll just stay here, and hopefully the tail should come up. Oops, I'm going to get electrocuted if I'm not too freaking careful. There we go. Oh, yeah, I've got electrocuted. Boom. I think I'm in the right place. So here comes his tail, and I'm pressing R2 now, and boom. There we go. I'm on, and now I just need to grip and hold on. So I'm holding R2 right now. There we go. We're on him, and this is where you need your stamina. Because as he rises up, as he sort of humps out the water, you've got to sort of release R2 and run to the next part before it goes back under the water. So you've got to watch the water break. As you see the wave coming to you, get ready to brace and grab hold again. Now it's only the super brave that are probably going to get every single spike in one run. It's doable, I believe, but it's not easy. And you can see there I got knocked back a bit. So I don't think I'm going to be triumphant on this one. Every millisecond counts for this one, chums, in timing, and it's not easy. It really isn't. So I think I'm probably going to have to do 2 sort of passes on this one. So what I might do is when he's doing all that snaky stuff under the water, I might speed up the footage for that bit. But yeah, here we go. Let's find the weak spots. So I'm not even at the first spike yet, chums. Here we go. Leg it over here. You should see sort of like this blue sort of hazy glow like you always do, but it's also accompanied by this red sort of colour. Now I think these are trigger points, so you only have to stab these the once. And I don't think you have to do the full brace, but I'm going to do the full brace anyway. Chicka-boom. And there you go. You see it went off? Now I've got to go to the next spike. It's just a one stab, one hit. Run and do the next one. Sort of shenanigans. Even though it goes blue afterwards, don't bother stabbing it again. Just get to the next one. And the actual proper weak point, I mean, these are sort of like critical points, if you like. There you go. I've done a double stab on the one. But if you run all the way up to the head, then you'd see the end one. You should see the spikes go off if you manage to do it right. I think This is the first stab that I tried to do. I think I got knocked back. I don't think I actually connected with the first one. So here we go. Yeah, I've definitely wasted too much time. I'm not going to get all of them done. I think the one spike is going to remain. Yeah, here we go. He's doing a deep dive. And you'll see here my stamina will go all the way down. And there's nothing I can do about it. It will then just throw me off and I have to swim back up to the top. If you've got a massive stamina bar, I think you might be able to hold on for the full duration and not have to do a second sort of passing of this sort of shenanigans. There we go, I've had to release and I'm swimming back up to the surface. There I go, brilliant. So, there we are. You know what, I'm going to speed up the footage like I said and we'll reconvene when I take out that last spike. We are back at the last freaking spike, and you can see here he just went underwater, which sort of, yeah, that slowed me down a tad, didn't it? Hopefully I'm going to make it. Here we go. Here we are, and stab. Kaboom. Then right in front of the spike, you see that blue sigil just turn on straight away. Right, now I'm just going to run around to there, get on the blue sigil, and I've got to stab the heck out of that. He's just done a little bit of a dive again. I thought he was going to go for a deep dive. I was like, no, you don't. Heck no. And there you go. Boom. Done. One giant stab. He's done. There you go, I'll let you watch the death animation. Okay, so everyone's got their favourite Colossi. This one, I like the look of this Colossi, but it's definitely not my favourite. This one's a little bit tedious, but not as tedious as the one in the cave. The one in the cave in the desert is the worst one for me. It actually swims under the sand and it comes up and mashes you. It's a bit like the Balrog in frickin' Monster Hunter. Don't like that one. Oh, I think this is the gecko type one that scales the walls and you have to shoot his legs and he drops down. I like this one. This one's fun. Right, well, I'll see you for that one, people. Hopefully next episode. Cheery bye. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.